This episode of The Young Turks is brought to you by Gamefly. Go to gamefly.com/TYT for your free trial membership.
The school board in North Carolina, Wake County School District, is planning on ending an integration program that began decades ago. And what the integration program wanted to do was basically bus in students from poor areas, mostly minority students, and integrate them into the wealthy area and the predominantly white schools.
Right. Makes sense. That's how it was all throughout the country.
Right.
Otherwise, we had separate but unequal schools in reality. Of course, where the black schools were getting no help, the white schools had all the money, etc. You know the whole history of it in America. Well, it looks like some people want to undo that.
They do want to undo that. Now the school district has a Republican majority, and they have decided that it is a wasted effort, and they are no longer going to continue with the program. All right. So, by the way, this is a Tea Party-backed school district, okay, school board. So basically what they're saying is, yeah, it's a bit of an inconvenience for these black students and these minority students, so why don't we just, keep them in their poor areas where they belong? And I want to read you a quote that is unbelievable. I can't believe anyone would have the balls to make this type of quote. So school board chairman Ron Morgiata, he says that they're just seeking a simpler system in which children attend the schools closest to them. He continues to say that... This quote is crazy. If the result is a handful of high-poverty schools, perhaps that will better serve the most challenged students.
How? How would it serve serve the most challenged students? He's like, in other words, he's basically saying, look, I don't give a damn. Put them all in the poor school. As long as they're not with my kids, I could care less. That's their problem. That's not my problem. If the school's bad enough, maybe they'll fix it. Maybe they won't. As long as it's out of my hair. I just don't like those black people. I mean poor people. I mean challenged students in my area.
No, and their strategy, here's how crazy this is. Their strategy is to basically isolate the poor kids in the poor schools and the white kids in the rich schools, right? And that way they can better focus on the needs of the individual students, right? So they think they're
That's how it always goes down.
So, you know what's going to happen? They're going to neglect the poor schools. You think that they're going to focus attention on that?
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't see that coming. Oh, that's pretty devious. Because I know that throughout the country, there's a lot of poor schools. And I'll tell you, people really focus on them. In other words, they don't focus on them at all. They're just like, oh, they're poor schools. Who cares? Who cares? Now, look, this is, we're going backwards. That's what's happening, right? And
look, and then the Tea Party wonders why people call them racist. You're calling for segregation in this school district in North Carolina, and you're wondering why people are calling you racist. You say that you do not want to dilute your schools.
Dilute.
Okay, one of the people quoted in this Washington Post article said dilute.
Okay, and earlier in the show I had given you the story about the black Republican in Arizona who resigned because he said the Tea Party guys would come up to him and say, oh, look, there's Anthony, let's go get a rope. Gee, I wonder why some people think that some of you are racist. Now, of course, not all Tea Party people. We've been over that a million times. But when you do stuff like this, it makes people wonder.
Right.
But luckily, an old friend of mine is going to come straighten it out, right?
Yes. So the superintendent of the school district is Anthony J. Tata.
Brigadier General, retired Anthony Tata. He's also the author of Rogue Threat. General Tata, welcome to the Young Turks.
Hi, how are you guys doing? It's Tata, actually. It's one of those good Italian names. So.
And it's you go by General Tata?
I go by Tony.
That's when I was interviewing General Tata. And now I'm going to go back to Tata, given what's happened here. Because you know what happened? The guy running the board, the school district, wouldn't do it. He's like, I'm not going to resegregate. That's crazy, right? So he resigned. They bring in Tata, and he's like, just call me Tony. I'm in. I'm your man.
Yeah.
Turns out he, on his Facebook, likes Glenn Beck, the Tea Party Patriots, and he's like, you need me to segregate the school? I'm your general. Just call me Tony. So that is very disappointing. If I had known that at the time of the interview, I'd have gone after him a little harder.
Cenk, people don't know this about me, but I'm an underground gamer.
You are.
I love to play video games.
Well, then you're going to love our new sponsor, Gamefly. They're the largest online video game rental service in the world. 7,000 titles, new and classic,
Also, no late fees, no due dates, shipping's always free.
Go to gamefly.com/TYT for a free trial membership.